All right, so this morning's Family First comes to us live and direct from inside the studio. He's a renowned Jamaican photographer, artist, but also father of 4 sons, with who he has a great relationships, I'm told. Here to talk to us about growing up, but not growing up part is Mr. Craig Pang Sang. Good to see you, sir.
Good morning.
Welcome to Smile Jamaica. Tell me a little bit about you before we get to your kids.
I am an artist, photographer, avid car guy, businessman. I sell and repair equipment also for TVJ. And
What kind of equipment?
the cameras and lights, anything that is to do with the broadcast
So
industry.
anytime we hear a light pop, is you must come cuss?
It can be brought to me and we can do this.
No, is you must cuss?
Well, the thing about electronics is these things break and you never know when.
No, man, just teasing
Yes.
you. So you have a whole heap of hats.
Many,
You said photographer and artist.
yes.
So what kind of art do you...
I love the art of black and white photography. I paint, I draw, I do digital work also. I have a gallery, 2 actually, and I'm building out a brand new venue, which is going to, Jamaica is going to just love what I'm doing with it.
Fantastic. When will that come about?
I think in about 30 to 60 days that we'll have a soft opening.
Brilliant. I have 2 sons, 2 big men, and they're totally different. And I mean totally different.
Yes.
What about your 4 kids? How different are they? Are they the same?
No, they're all 4 different personalities, you know, and it's been an interesting journey for, you know, trying to be that guiding force to all of them.
Yeah. It is something that I've also said publicly that maybe when one of my sons, my first child, when he was very young, I wasn't the greatest father in life. I know that now. I probably didn't realize I wasn't back then. How did you know that you were doing the right things for your sons?
Well, first of all, are we ever really the greatest and the best? We just have to do what we are taught, and we have to try and pass on all of those things that we were taught, many that we weren't. We have to be really aware of what's going on in the world around us and make sense out of it so that we can pass on to them, you know, the good side of things, because let's face it, the challenges are heavy, especially for young people growing up.
As a father, is it a one-size-fits-all with the 4 of them, or you have to deal with them differently because of their different personalities?
Each one the different personalities, and one of the very important things is never to compare them. Never. We as parents tend to do that. Well, your brother this or your sister that.
Yeah, and you get plenty of that.
No, you can't. You have to look at them individually, and let's face it, we growing up also always thought that our parents were unfair to us, right? And the thing is, I'm sure we are at sometimes. But listen, we are not there to be friends. We are there to be parents. We need to guide them, and we have to put them on the right path, so to speak. And not the right path with a big stick, because that don't always work. We have to lead through how we live our lives too. Very, very important, because, you know, them said talk is talk.
Yeah.
You know.
Having said that, are you their friends?
I think so. And I know so because of the type of questions and things that they bring to me and how they say things to me and the subjects that they bring up that they want to speak to me about or bounce off of me. Dad, what you think? Daddy, what you think?
Yeah. You have a favorite?
That's a very important question. And when they were very small, I remember my second son asking me that question. And I was a little puzzled why he asked me at first. And then quietly I went to each one and said, who do you think is the favorite? And in the end of all of that, each one said the other one. There was no 2. So I just thought to myself, damn, yes, I got it.
So you have a favorite?
I don't.
You don't?
No. Because
is it realistic to say you love the 4 of them the same way? That's realistic?
I love them in different ways. But let me ask you this. If I like mango, I like avocado, I like pineapple, and I like naseberry, why should I give up one over the other to say I like one more than the other? Each one is a taste.
Because maybe you do.
I don't. I think the artistic side of me allows me to enjoy things in its different form.
Yeah.
And that has been in me for as far as I can remember.
Yeah. Do they all deal with you, in your opinion, the same way? Or some might not deal with you the same way as another one? The same thing with my 2 sons. One one, if I'm talking to one of them, him chat, 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 the next one just barely talk to me. But do they all deal with it the same way?
Each one has their own form of how they ask questions or how they do different things. Some show affection a little bit more than the other, but I don't take it as anything. I just think of it as a different type of personality, just like everybody around us.
Yeah. You mentioned Big Stick. You beat them? Used to?
No. I think I more really raise my voice than anything. Don't do that, and they'll kind of know that when I cuss a certain way, they know what really bothers me and what's important to me.
Yeah. I was in preparing for this. It says you overcame an obstacle with I don't know if it was one or with the kids.
No, the big obstacle in my life, there was a period in time of being a single parent for quite a while. And they say it takes a village to raise a child. It really is true. And the majority of my family is overseas, so I was pretty much here, you know. And that is something that is really, really tough, because making a living and then trying to be there to guide and to help with whether it's homework or extra activities or whatever. And me being a dad for being from so young also is a part of it. And I think my mom especially did a reasonable job with myself and my three sisters.
Yeah.
And that helped me to move on, to bring down those things I learned to them.
My mom used to tell me that I'm always our baby. I mean, she died when I was probably in my 50s, and I'm always her baby. How you move from there to seeing your child as a big man and having a different kind of discussion with him? How you move from there?
Well, the good thing is that there was never any jump from one to the next. We kind of all grew together, which was good. You know, there were just different things that we all loved, like the cars, and there was one car in particular that I have that, you know, they grew up around, and we all were sit down there, and I'd be working on it, and they'd be outside there running around the car and playing just in the driveway. Remember, you know, there was no hope for TV things and so forth, you know, and internet and what have you. So they were always playing outside mostly, until, of course, Nintendo came around, and, you know, that was...
What are their names?
Bradley.
Tell me something about Bradley.
Bradley is the quiet one. Quietly powerful. He was a soldier in Iraq. He went for 4 tours.
Wow.
That was a time for me.
You must have read through that.
I actually mounted a TV in my office right as he went there, and I would watch CNN every day.
Wow.
I mean, there was one time when he called me from over there, and he said, watch the news this weekend. That's when they got Saddam. He was there.
Wow.
You
Next
know?
one?
Brett.
Tell me about Brett.
Brett is the businessman. He's
Bradley's the oldest?
Oldest,
All
yes.
right.
Brett is the second one.
Yeah.
He's the businessman. He's in tune with money and real estate. He has his own company over there and so forth, you know, very, very focused.
Of course.
And then there's Jordan. Jordan somehow kind of followed me with the whole video side of things when I used to do stuff like this, videographer. And so he shot quite a few videos and, you know, things. I forget some of the names of the people.
And who's the fourth one?
And Cameron.
Cameron.
Cameron, the youngest, very, very bright. He's got a full scholarship for medicine. He's just 1 year now overseas. He's actually here for summer holidays.
I was just going to say, so they're not with you at all?
Not really.
They don't miss them?
I do. Jordan is back here now working on this project with me.
Yeah.
And Cameron will, of course, go back to school in August, September.
But you're happy that they move on and doing this stuff?
Well, you must be happy that your children are improving and that they are growing, because growth is a good thing. Even in relationships, you must grow.
Look in that camera and just tell a father, you know, some of the things that maybe a father needs to know.
Listen, you have to start young. It's a child is not born here just by accident. Well, God gives you a child so that, you know, it's a part of your journey. And they didn't have a choice. You had a choice bringing them here. And therefore, you have an obligation to pass on all the good and all the support that you should to a child. And this is regardless of the relationship you have with the mother. You know, be there and always always be there for them and start from young so that it's not foreign to them. It's always something that they are used to being around.
I asked you if you had a favorite. If I ask you which one you think love you more than the rest of them, you could figure out one?
You know, they all show me love all the time.
In a different way, though?
Yes, and different ways.
Good to see you. Thanks for coming.
Thank you
Great
for having me.
And congrats, obviously, on an outstanding and amazing father. Mr. Craig Pangsan, visual artist and father. And if any problem in the studio, it's his fault. Joke. On the other side of the break, we discuss trauma and abuse in males. Stay with us, please. Soon come.